And cab check, stretching things out to Jet Jones, one-on-one, he fires! Score! Activate the landing gear because the Jet has landed again. His third goal in 3 games, number 20 on the season, and it's 4-2 Knight Monsters. And now, shorthanded break, Jake Wallen to double the lead for Wichita, denied by Vikman.
Huge save.
That's the biggest save of this playoff series. Now we got the first fight of the series. It's Parapelic and Anthony Collins. Here we go. Collins lands 2, grappling with Parapelic right in front of the Allen Americans bench. Anthony Collins gets one more. He gets another. He's laying into it with the uppercuts, and that gets the crowd going early in the game. Anthony Collins firing up the Tahoe Blue Event Center. Kapchek blows a tire, and here comes Michael Farron all alone to finish it. And Jesper Vikman stonewalls the captain. Connecting the dots into the ozone. This is Anthony Collins. Point blank forehand. Score! Anthony Collins. And that will get the Knight Monsters bench fired up. It's 4-0 Tahoe in the third. Luke Adam didn't like what he saw at the blue line, so turns away and then dumps it in. Nick Kanade was in his face there. 13 ticks to go on the power play for Tahoe. Long distance stretch out pass intended for Kanade. Goes behind Jesper Vikman. Doesn't look like Tahoe's going to score on this man advantage with 2 ticks to go. But gaining speed through center is Logan Nelson. Just one defender, that's Gagnon, to the forehand! Score! Wow. He is unstoppable. Logan Nelson coast to coast. It's 2-1 Tahoe in the third.
What a move on the one-on-one from Logan Nelson. See the end of it here as he's by his man there, Gagnon, and drives wide, tucks it into the open net, and heck of a move. Used to seeing him drive wide. That time cut a couple of ways and left the defenseman in the dust to get a huge goal, 2-1.
3 gone by in the third. The Knight Monsters have their first lead of the hockey game. Logan Nelson, goal number 17 on the season, is a big one in the final 20. Now it's up to Tahoe to hold on to this 1-goal advantage as Cross plays it, turned over. This is Pitters, centering try behind Jet Jones. Pitters dispossessed by Matt Register. Kumant Zeus takes it the other way with pace, dishes across. Moynihan slams on the brakes, backhands it down low, Junker to pick it off. Back up top, Zins rotates. This is Register, that's blocked by Pitters. Now Register, one of the most decorated ECHL D-men in the history of this league. Leads all players in ECHL history in playoff points and playoff games played. Idaho this year trying to make it to the playoffs. Good pass, Greensby, Son with a drive, denied by Kraz. Sloan Stanek keeps it. On his backhand, puts it on goal! Score! A deceptive strike by Sloan Stanek. His 7th goal against Idaho this season, and it's 3-1 Tahoe.
Here you see Stanek cutting in the middle on the backhand, puts it on net, and what do you know, it goes in, and you wouldn't know that was a big goal looking at Sloan Stanek on the celebration. Almost a little chuckle there, but you know, a lot of players maybe wouldn't have the confidence to put that one on the net on the backhand from distance there, but Sloan Stanek does it and gets rewarded for it. So very quickly here, Tahoe has a 2-goal lead, and Steelheads needing to regroup here. I was wondering if they were calling a timeout, but gotta love where you are. Tahoe Blue Event Center is rocking.
And Tim, we talked about at intermission, jumping out with fire to open the third period. Exactly what the doctor ordered for this Knight Monsters squad. And this is a Tahoe team that in third periods coming into today had a plus 14 goal differential. Make it plus 16 now, 4 minutes into this final 20.
Hey, let's make it plus 17. Why stop now?
And you think back to the series against Tulsa, the Knight Monsters striking 4 times in the third period of game 1. They were down 2-1 entering that third against the Oilers. Ended up winning 5-2.
Yep, this team knows how to score the big goal late in games, so.
Now it's Troy Loggins moving down the length. Put it between his legs. It was covered by Cross. Good defense there by Reese Harsh. Staying with it as Adrian Bisson gets a helper on that Sloan Stanek goal. His first point as a Knight Monster comes at the Tahoe Blue Event Center.
Yeah, and he got that puck from Sloan Stanek with a nice backhand dish to give Bisson a good chance. So one chance leads to another, and it's 3-1.
Logan Nelson wins this faceoff. Patrick Newell dishes left. Artur Cholach slammed down the brakes, now moves the other way. Good moves now to his backhand centering try. Great kick save by Ben Cross as Kanade chips to clear.
Love the battle from Loggins in the blue paint.
Pass just a hair too hot to handle, intended for Troy as an icing call. And Tim, something I talked about with head coach Alex Lowe entering this series, we talked about it before, matching desperation for Idaho. I think that's exactly what we're seeing here to start this third period, doing exactly what the Steelheads did to open the second, turning it around on him here in the third.
Yeah, and capitalizing a couple more times. So good that Tahoe, when they were getting tested, Vikman was there, and they did enough to keep it out of their net in that second period. So it all starts with Logan Nelson, that beautiful one-on-one move. Individual effort. It really hasn't been that type of game. It's kind of been a collective, grinded out type of game. So Nelson with a big one to get Tahoe out in front, and nice to see a little cushion added.
Yeah, 2-goal lead for Tahoe, but a lot of hockey left to play. 15 minutes to go in this third period. And for Idaho, playoff games for them, as there's a hard drive by Pearson that Vikman somehow traps under his right side pad.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times with Vikman, almost catching it with his skate, and you look at how he attaches his pad to his skate with the lace, and there's a little room there, and it's a little different look. So it looks like maybe he's onto something there as he caught that one with the lower leg.
You're absolutely right, Tim. We've seen that a couple of times before, especially here in Tahoe. As Jet Jones will drop the puck back. The Knight Monsters control here in their own zone. McGrew skate to stick, punt it, punches him down to the ice. Francesco Arcuri off the bank, played off of A.J. White. Evan Junker gets the first touch, spinning it to Jake McGrew. Junker, the rookie out of University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Adrian Bisson blows a tire, but A.J. White couldn't get into the O-zone for Idaho. Currently, the Steelheads sitting 3 points out of a playoff spot. There's a good pickoff move, saved by Vikman on another drive from Pearson.
Good solid save there. Not a lot on the shot, so Vikman stays square and makes the save, kind of bails his defenseman out with the save. Bisson blew a tire in the neutral zone, so he was kind of having to work hard to recover from that, and puck got away from him. So I think the key at this point is, there's a lot of excitement, people feeling good in the building, but don't be afraid to turn it into a boring hockey game sooner rather than later, and just, don't force anything, make simple plays, and definitely don't want to sit back and make it easy for Idaho to gain entry into your zone, but, you got the 2-goal lead, and that should be enough, so don't let Idaho back into the game by being careless with the puck.
Tim, it's a great point as an icing is called on Tahoe. As we've seen in the games between these two squads, Idaho can score in bunches. Defensively, Tahoe did a great job against them to close down both games 1 and 2 on the road a few weeks ago. Maybe going back to that, I think you hit the nail on the head, simplifying things on the ice here in the third.
Yeah, and there's a difference between playing at home and playing on the road, so it's a little easier to maybe be conservative on the road. But when you're on home ice, maybe there's a little more pressure to, put on that show. So don't fall into that trap. Just take care of the puck.
Turning chance by Pelton Bice to Wade Murphy. Puck is loose in the blue paint, and Vikman finds it. And that sends us to an ice crew timeout. 13:46 to go in the third. Blink and you'll miss it, Tim. It's 3-1 Tahoe here in the final 20. We're over 6,200 feet above sea level. That means it's time for hockey in South Lake Tahoe. The Night Monsters are back at home at the Tahoe Blue Event Center to take on the Idaho Steelheads. I'm Khalin Kapoor, your voice of the Night Monsters, and you're watching Night Monsters pregame on Flohockey.tv and the Night Monsters Broadcast Network as we gear you up for a week of high-level Mountain Division hockey that starts tonight. The first of four between these two teams. The first 4 and 5 of the season comes with playoff implications. The Night Monsters are in a playoff spot at second in the Mountain. Idaho is the first team out. Tahoe Night Monsters have gone golden tonight. The Tahoe Golden Monsters in Game 1 against the Adirondack Thunder. I'm Khalin Kapoor here with Adam Robbins by popular demand for our Bally's Lake Tahoe pregame report. And Adam, the fans have wanted you here for the entire season. We got you here now. So let's start with the last series against Kansas City. The Night Monsters getting swept, obviously, but some steps forward there in Game 3. What was your read on the entire series, and how excited are you to be back home here in Tahoe?
Yeah, I mean, first off, thanks to the fans for asking to have me on here. It's an honor, and love you guys too.
Wait a minute. Retro weekend. This doesn't feel right. That's much better. So we're going to get into our 3 keys to the game now that we're dressed for the part. Our first key for the Night Monsters is continuing the third period momentum that we saw from yesterday. Tahoe outshot the Americans 11-3 in the final 20, and head coach Alex Lowe told me that third period was miles better than the first and the second. They got to carry that over here to the first period today and ambush the Allen Americans, not let them get to that multi-goal lead like we saw last night. Our second key to the game is activating offensively on the blue line. Guess who scored the overtime goal yesterday? It was Slava Demin, a defender, his first goal of the ECHL season. They need to do that from all of their defenders, and we saw it from Jordan Henderson, from Brennan Kapchak, from Jake Johnson as well, pressing forward from the blue line to the slot, firing shots off offensively, adds another dimension to this Night Monsters offense. Our third and final key to the game is crispness in the neutral zone, both offensively and defensively. In the first 2 periods, we saw some passes not go according to plan, a couple bounces off sticks, and also some defensive takedowns and lapses by the Night Monsters in neutral territory. That can't happen early in this hockey game against the Americans. They got to keep it tight against an Allen offense that is desperate. They haven't won a game in their past 11 contests, have the Allen Americans. Tahoe's won 2 straight. They're trying to make it 3 here tonight. We're throwing it back today for Game 1 of our retro weekend. It's going to be a ton of fun. Tahoe and Allen is coming up.